Was Jonah really swallowed by a whale? Seems like a fairy tale. Seems like something that couldn't be possible. Today we're going to answer that. Stick around to find out.
May your God forgive you, Jonah.
Jonah found himself in the whale's belly. Now he was really alone.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel Limitless Faith. Today we're talking about Jonah. Was he really swallowed by a whale or a fish? Jonah chapter 1 verse 17 says, "And the Lord appointed a great fish to swallow up Jonah, and Jonah was in the belly of the fish 3 days and 3 nights." So here we see that it didn't have to be a whale that swallowed Jonah. That's obviously what we hear about most of the time. It was a great fish that swallowed Jonah, that the text says that God appointed a great fish to swallow him. What kind of fish is this? I don't have a clue. It's certainly possible that in Job 41, there's this talk of a leviathan, of a really large, I guess you'd call it a sea monster, that's so big that no human could possibly penetrate its skin. There's talk of it having like a fire-breathing capabilities. So that's kind of weird. That's unheard of. I don't know that we've ever found anything like that in the deep sea, but the Bible talks about that, so it's a possibility. Another possible candidate for swallowing Jonah comes from the sperm whale. Now these whales can grow up to 40 feet long and weigh up to 130,000 pounds. That's a big animal. That's a big fish. The problem with this sperm whale is that it has massively sharp teeth. If you can get by these teeth, you can certainly fit in the stomach. And this is where it gets interesting. On page 8 of the August 22nd, 1891 issue of the Yarmouth Mercury newspaper of Great Yarmouth in England, we read of a man named James Bartley. And James Bartley in 1891 was swallowed by a whale for 2.5 days until he was cut out of it and found alive. This man was found alive inside of a whale after 2.5 days, inside of a sperm whale. Is it possible? If this story is true, it's certainly possible. The story, as reported, is that during a whaling expedition off the Falkland Islands, Bartley's boat was attacked by the whale and he landed inside the whale's mouth. He survived the ordeal and was carved out of the stomach by his peers when they, not knowing he was inside, caught and began skinning the whale because of the hot weather, which would have rotted the whale meat. It was said that he was in the whale for 36 hours, and it was also said that his skin had been bleached by the gastric juices and that he was blind the rest of his life. He was, however, supposed to have returned to work within 3 weeks in some accounts. He died 18 years later, and his tombstone in Gloucester says, "James Bartley, a modern-day Jonah." So there's the newspaper reading. We know that sperm whales can have swallowed giant squid. Seals have been found inside of these whales. This is where it gets a little bit different, though. Some historians have claimed that the story is actually a hoax. There's talk of the captain of this ship's wife saying that this never happened. But that happens with every single piece of history that we have. There are always people who claim, no, this isn't true. And especially with a story such as this that would verify the biblical account, it's obvious some people are going to want to discredit that. According to one source, in 1920, a zoologist actually set out to prove or to figure out if a person could survive inside a whale. And the conclusion was not only could they survive a short amount of time, but their face would become white from the juices. Other scientists, however, like anything, there's a bit of controversy, say that no, you couldn't survive. There wouldn't be enough oxygen. and you would suffocate. At the end of the day, we don't know if the story's true. There's scientists saying one thing, scientists saying another about it, if a person could survive the ordeal. There are certainly fish in the ocean big enough to swallow a man. There's fish in the ocean that we don't even know about yet that could swallow a man. It's no surprise or it's not a shock that if God desired Jonah to survive being swallowed by a sperm whale, he most certainly would have. I hope today that this study increases your faith a bit. While there is a bit of controversy about it, there's something there. And I hope you've learned a little bit through this. Thanks for watching. As for me, in my opinion, I think the story's probably true. I think it could have happened. Anyways, leave your comment in the section below of whether you think James Bartley was actually swallowed by a whale. Maybe you've researched this in ways I haven't or that I wasn't aware of. And if you have any future videos you want to see, leave a comment down below. We will cover those videos. As always, leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.